Sorry, got to find the report. Let's see where we're at. There we are. So on that note, Carson Latant, PhD student, trying to, or not trying, will be working with GLAG as well. So you'll see emails from him throughout the year. We've got a case institute pending, and we'll let you know more about that. Keep reading the newsletters. The other big thing is right now, you should be getting an email or have gotten an email about the new PAAE Ag Teacher Directory. And there's a link in the minutes here, but also I believe it's been in the newsletter a couple times. I don't think we've gotten to the point where we've sent anything over the listserv. I could be wrong about that, but just letting you know that go in and update your information, and it should be more user-friendly. At least that was our goal in all of this. So Tara put a lot of work into that, but if you have any questions, she's really the one that it would be best to reach out to. So I guess the big thing is just know that as a center, we're here to help you. We want to provide you with what you need for your in-service needs, if you will, professional development. And just keep reading that newsletter. There's lots of opportunities, from DIY deadline coming up in early December, I think December 1st, to some other opportunities that will be coming down the line, thanks to some partnerships with the Ag Ed Commission as well. So with that, I will ask if there's any questions, and if not, we'll turn it back over to Dave.
Okay. Mr. Brammer, FA.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Steinfeld. I'm going to try to share a screen here if I can.
You should have access.
Okay, it looks like I'm probably sharing at this point, I hope. If not, Dr. Ewing, yell at me. So, oh,
You're sharing. You're good.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, I just want to give a quick update on all things FFA. It's a little more lengthy than I would like, but it's lots of things are going on, and I just feel like we probably need to share some of these things with you. So we'll get started with that. Obviously, you know that the state officers have picked up, have developed their new theme called More. We think it's really fitting for the reasons behind they actually chose that theme with everything that's actually going on these days, but kind of cool. They've actually developed a graphic that goes with that theme as well, and you can see that kind of down in the corner of the slide. So as many of you know, we just recently conducted the chapter officer leadership training session with chapter officers. Excuse me, we were really excited in the fact that we had over 330 students actually register for that conference. However, only about 240 of them attended the event. So I know that some of you, or some teachers across the state, probably registered those students for them. Some students registered themselves. I know that we had a couple of problems that night with connections. Trying to email the students to let them know what the connection was, because we were doing 8 different sessions. Sometimes that got to be a problem. We learned some things that we know next time to do differently, such as requesting personal emails rather than school emails, because some schools have that firewall up that we could not email them back. So then we had to go through the teachers in order to get the links to the students, and it just didn't always work. But still, to have over 240 students attend that evening, we thought it was a huge success as far as numbers were concerned. And from what I've heard back from most of the teachers, or from a lot of the teachers, is that the students seem to really enjoy it as well. So we were really excited about it. And we're looking at what's the next big thing that we can do like that. So chapter visit season, of course, is on us, and believe it or not, the state officers are actually out doing some chapter visits. We've done some in-person visits. We are also doing visits virtually. So it is entirely up to you. The only thing we're asking is that you reach out to me and ask me for some dates or provide me with some dates, and we will either come and visit in person if we're allowed to do that. And if not, we'll do it virtually. If your school cannot use Zoom, which is our preferred method of connecting virtually, then we'll do it through Google Classroom, or we'll do it through Google Meet, or whatever we need to do to make sure that our state officers are connecting with your students. Just contact me and we'll set it up. The next thing that we've got coming out is this little thing called Inside the Jacket. It's a video series that the state officers are putting together as we speak. We had hoped to roll this out about a week or so ago, and we're running a little bit behind the 8 ball just because of technical difficulties. So our plan, the officers had come up with about 25, 26 different items that they wanted to do these little short 3 to 5 minute videos with or about. And our plan is to actually roll out about 7 every time that we do a series. So the series will be called Inside the Jacket. There will be things geared toward the first year member, things like what is official dress? What does it look like? What is an SAE? What is CDEs? What are LDEs? What are conferences? What are conventions? All the things that we would normally have covered at the Fall Leadership Conference. We're going to try to cover some of those things in little short 3 to 5 minute videos. They're not being professionally produced, so the officers are having fun with them. And they're just, I think they're going to be really, really good. The next piece, and we're going to put those, by the way, we're going to put those on the YouTube channel and give you exclusive rights to go get those videos and play them in your classroom. And then eventually they'll just be there in perpetuity, that they'll just be there forever. And you'll be able to go access them anytime you want. The other piece with that is we have one state officer who has taken it up on herself to put together these little question sheets that will go with each video so that we can send you those forms as well. Some things we'll be able to answer just by watching the video. There may be a question or two that will kind of lead them to go do some more research to find out some more things that maybe they didn't hear in the video. So it's turned out to be a lot more work than what we thought it was going to be, but the officers are excited about it. As you can see, they've even developed another little graphic that goes with Inside the Jacket video series. There's an opening video that goes with every single 3 to 5 minute clip that they're actually doing. So they have really gotten into it and trying to make it very, very exciting, and also make it very informational for your students. So hopefully when we roll those out, you'll see that they're just as, or hopefully you'll get as excited about them as we are. National Convention is coming up, and hopefully everybody's gotten this information by now. You'll see the link there at the bottom of that slide, convention.ffa.org/registration. If you just want your students to watch the sessions, there is no charge at all. That's one of the big things that I've been trying to make sure that teachers know, is that if you're just going to let your students watch sessions, there's going to be an opening session and then 6 more sessions. There's no charge to do that. If you want them to have the full experience and be able to go to the expo, be able to go to the blue room, be able to go into workshops and things like that, then there is a tier cost. So you can register up to 29 students for $50. And you can see the breakdowns there on the screen. So there's no rush this year to get registered for National Convention because of obviously no concerts, things of that nature. But there is a deadline, and I apologize, I don't remember the deadline off the top of my head. I'm not sure if our 2 FFA ambassadors know the deadlines off the top of their heads or not. If you do, jump in and say that. So, okay, so we'll keep going. This next piece I want to share with you is on Keystone Degrees and State Stars. This information just recently came out. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to try to share a different screen with you. Let's see if this works. Did that screen change? Somebody nod ahead.
It's there. It says Keystone.
Okay.
It might be a little small. I'm not sure. Are other folks able to read it?
Okay, I see a couple of heads being shaken.
Yep. Okay. I'm just getting old, Mr. Brammer.
No, that's all right. I have to have mine set on like 200% for me to see it. And I wear glasses, John. So, so the board of directors recently took some action for this year only and looking at the Keystone degree process and the timelines. What I'm just going to share with you, and most of this was sent out in an email, and I just want to share this piece right here that I've highlighted for you. Is that the fall submission, the records obviously ended October 1. The submission deadline's November 6th. There will be a review that has to happen by November 20th with corrections being done by December 4th so that the board can approve them by the 11th. And then we're going to hold a spring submission. So if you have students now that because of COVID had problems qualifying, we're going to extend that to where they can actually submit in the spring. So what does that mean when it comes as far as the recognition piece? We're actually looking at doing 2 different recognitions. One that we would normally do at midwinter, which will be virtual. And then one that we would do in the summer at summer convention for those who apply for the spring. We'll talk a little bit about the summer convention here in just a second, but for the most part, I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of this particular piece. You don't have to mail those applications. You don't have to email the applications. We're actually going to set up a registration form in a Google Doc that you will go and register the students who are applying for their Keystone. And then in addition to that, you'll be able to upload the PDF version of their application. And then once all those applications are uploaded, like for this first deadline of November 6th, you should see those links come out within the next week. We're also going to ask that you submit a photo of the student, preferably in official dress, so that we can recognize those students virtually when the time comes. Again, any questions that you have on this, be sure and reach out. There was a little bit of confusion on this spring submission that the record books wouldn't close until October 1st, 2021, that little statement right there. But it's basically all records up to and including March 5th, 2021. If we went into the system and said, close off all records as of October 1st, 2020, then you wouldn't be able to put anything else in for this spring submission. So if I confused anybody by that particular message, then I apologize. But the other thing I want to bring to your attention on is over on this other page here, we look at the virtual state degree reviews. There are a couple of training sessions that will happen. The SAE's committee is going to be conducting one on October 13th, one on the 20th, and one on the 22nd. They'll all be exactly the same, so you can sign up and go to each or every one of them if you want, but you only have to attend one. Sharisa Naylor, who's the chair of the SAE committee, and also Carol Fay will be putting that on. And in fact, Carol may talk a little bit more about it, but just to give you an idea and an understanding of what we're actually going to be doing with Keystones this year. So the biggest thing was just making sure that you knew about the date changes and what we're planning on doing with the Keystones. So we're back to the other screen now. I'm like John, I'm trying to change screens back and forth. So let's see if we can move on. I just wanted to let everybody know that we do have an American Star Farmer finalist this year, McCara Anderson, who's currently serving as our serving as our state president, is a finalist for an American Star Farmer Award. So we wish her the best of luck. We also have some finalists in proficiency categories and of course some agri-science participants. And of course our national officer candidate, Jake Kinzer, will be competing starting here in about 2 weeks. He'll start his interviews all virtually as well. Midwinter convention, obviously with Farm Show being canceled, we're going to try to do something with it virtually. I'm not sure what it looks like yet. We'll let you know as soon as we can. ACES, SLSC, summer convention, all those things are being talked about by the board. In fact, the board's going to be meeting here in about a month to talk about ACES and SLSC. So look for a survey. I'd really like to survey the teachers around the 1st of November to kind of get a pulse of what everybody's being allowed to do at that point. And then some of those decisions will be made based upon what we find out from you. Obviously, if you can't travel with students and come to an event in person, or if we can't hold a person or an event in person because of the size, then we'll have to do something differently, and it'll be probably more than likely be virtual as well. We've been toying with the idea of, can we do something regionally? So I don't know. We're open for suggestions. If you have ideas, you guys know how to get in touch with me. Just let me know. Rosters, affiliate fees, all those kinds of things we've done in the past. It's still the same as it always was. That hasn't changed. If you need help with rosters, reach out, let me know. Happy to help you any way that we possibly can. And again, please contact me for chapter visits. Again, whether it's virtually or in person, we are more than happy to come in and try to lighten your day a little bit by letting the state officers come in and do those chapter visits. Just want to say thank you for what you do. I heard a quote today, apparently, that Abe Lincoln once said that the best way to predict your future is to create it. And there is no doubt in my mind that you guys are creating the future every single day. You were doing that before COVID hit, and now that COVID's hit, oh my gosh, you're blowing people out of the water with what you're actually doing. I can't say thank you enough, and I'm just gonna put my video back on here because I want you to see my face when I say this. Today, this morning, and I apologize for the long report, but this morning we actually had a Zoom call with all the directors of the CTSOs. So FBLA, HOSA, FCCLA, all those people were actually on a call together. Folks, they were so doom and gloom that I just had to turn everything off and stop listening and stop watching. When I gave a report and said what you guys are doing out there in the field every single day as ag teachers, they could not believe what they were hearing. Some of those CTSO groups at the state level have shut down completely. They're just not doing anything anymore. And they don't plan to do anything until the spring, even if then. So I was shocked. I just could not believe what I was hearing. And I just couldn't be more proud of what you guys are doing as teachers in the classroom each and every day. And if there's anything at all that we can do to help, please, please, please reach out and tell me. We will be here to help you any way that we possibly can. So again, I apologize for the long report, but thanks a lot for what you guys do.
Thank you, Mr. Brammer, for everything that you guys do too. The Colt training, that went really well. I thought we had our students here at the school that evening for a little while, and they really enjoyed it. So thank you for everything you guys are doing.
No problem. Mr. Steinfeld, I'm sorry. There was a question in the chat box. David Rivera's asking, did National FFA go back to gender-specific official dress? No, they did not. So if you want to private message me on a conversation with that, Dave, I'll be happy to answer. So.
Okay.
Hey, this is Tiffany Hoy. I have a question for Mr. Brammer.
Sure.
Is there, and I think, Mike, we had talked before, but would there be interest, or is there a possible way Colt could be potentially offered during the day? Sorry, I'm outside right now, but could be offered during the day hours or a second time this fall, because I have a lot of kids that were going to go, but we had a lot of conflicts because of evening hours and sports for us. And plus, once they're out of school, we have no way to get them back in, and our school closes down and doesn't want us to have gatherings after school hours.
Sure. We're actually talking about that. That can we come back and do it again, because we had such a tremendous turnout to begin with. But another thought for you, Tiffany, is if you want us to privately come in and work with your officer team, we'll be happy to do that too. We've done that with a couple. In fact, there's a couple on the call today that we've actually done that with. We feel like we're starting to get a little bit more comfortable doing these virtual visits and virtual trainings. So if you'd like for us to do that, just reach out. We'll get a date, and we'll even come and just do it just for your chapter. So no problem.
Very good. Any other questions from Mr. Brammer? Okay, thank you. Do we have any representative about FFA alumni at all?
I don't think so, Dave, but I'll just maybe chime in. Most of you probably already know, but the big thing right now for the alumni is the jacket campaign. So just a reminder to keep those due dates and deadlines in mind for any of your freshmen or first year members.
Okay. Any questions for alumni at all? Anybody that we might be able to pass on? All right, how about from the foundation? Casey, do you know anything from foundation as well?
I talked a little bit about the golf outing. That was their most recent event, and I think it was a tremendous success. They actually said it was like a record-breaking year for them. I think some of the other like fundraising events and things have been canceled, so it actually went really well. So all in all, for the year, fundraising wise, not record breaking, but for the golf outing specifically, that was a great amount there. So, and then the website is really the biggest thing, and I have that on kind of new business, but we can touch on it now. If you haven't had a chance to check out the new website, it's awesome. The foundation, and Nick, you might remember, I forget who sponsored that.
Brookside Sales.
Yes, they sponsored the cost to cover that whole transition. So they had that sponsor for that, and the cost for that is like minuscule in comparison. So from PAAE's perspective, we really don't have any costs anymore associated with the website unless we need to do something. There is an hourly charge that we can have that person do. So if we would need to really make some major changes or something, we could set up like an hourly rate for them to do that. But I don't foresee us really needing to do anything major from this point on that we couldn't probably do once we get things set up. Nick's going to be handling kind of the website, be webmaster, if you will. And he'll have access to kind of change documents, update things and whatnot. So I think it's going to be a great change for us, and hopefully we'll be able to keep that more up to date and just have it be a lot more user friendly. So that's been a great help. And so the foundation, we can kind of thank them for their efforts in getting that process taken care of and established. So.
Okay, very good. I don't think Dr. Shealy is on here, is he? Is there someone that has or would like to give that report? Okay.
I was just looking to see, and I don't really have anything specific from him, but anyone that was on the State of Ag Ed webinar, which I know there were some faces on here tonight that were there. I think we had some great discussion, and Scott's been doing a great job of trying to just reach out to all avenues, working with the center like Dr. Ewing. I know he reaches out to you often, and you guys at Penn State. Speaking with Darla and I from PAAE's perspective, like Scott's just been awesome and kind of pulling all of us together to really make sure that Ag Ed has a voice in whatever it is we need. So the commission's been really helpful, I feel, for ag education in general and PAAE specifically as well.
Yeah, I think when you can correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the big things that they were just talking about recently anyway was some things with agricultural mechanics. I know they're working on some things with that, so.
Yeah, and I know there were probably some of you, I want to say maybe Doug Brown, you were at last year's conference, and we met with Tim Wentz with the Northeast Equipment Dealers Association, and there were some other of you that were probably in that one workshop. Like, I know it's something that needs to be done. It's just a long, lengthy process. And one of the things we actually talked about this at one of our last board meetings, because Representative Barb Gleim reached out to us and asked, like, is this something ag teachers really want? Like, we got to make some progress on this. And I think we were starting to make some progress, but we also, like PAAE, we were kind of working as teachers on one avenue. The commission's working on their own side of things. Penn State's working. So I think we kind of talked about, we kind of need to all get together now, maybe in the future to see what we need to do to make all of that actually come to fruition and happen, I guess you could say. But I know John Seaman's kind of working on some teacher trainings and things that would be helpful to prepare anybody for that teaches ag mechanics. And I'm a little out of the loop because I don't teach ag mechanics. But like hydraulics trainings and things that would be more up to industry standards compared to what we're used to with like gas engines and whatnot, doing more with diesel and that sort of thing. So I know that's just something on the radar that we want to keep moving forward, but COVID, I think, really put a halt on some of that progress because we then started working on all these other things. So.
Okay. Carol, you're next on the list.
Hi, everybody. I'm Carol Fay. I'm the Teach Ag SAE specialist. My role is I'm a retired agriculture teacher. I taught for a number of years, but not as many years as Marty Heiler has taught at Penn Manor High School, and retired a few years ago. And Penn State offered me the position of SAE specialist. And so I've been filling that role for the past, oh my word, few years, 5 or 6 years now. Wow, time flies. Anyway, so in the past, PAAE has provided funds, funds to cover my expenses in my visits to schools. So as I would travel, I got mileage, and if I needed hotels, they provided that and covered that up to $5,000. So that's been in the PAAE budget for 5 or 6 years. So this past year, the Ag Ed Commission and then Penn State Center provides a stipend. So this past year, the commission approved to cover that stipend and my mileage and my expenses. So in that transition, I sent, you guys just need to know some details. I sent a bill to, and this is how we did it. I sent an invoice to the treasurer, to Brian, and he paid the invoice to me, which was very nice. But in the meantime, the money got approved from the commission to the center. So I repaid Brian for those expenses, and then the commission covered those expenses. So in the financials of PAAE, you'll see an expense, you'll see an income, and that's what the confusion is. So now going forward, I think probably the finance committee is going to drop the PAAE, or I'm sorry, the SAE specialist out of your budget. I'm guessing. Brian, nod your head if that's what you think is probably going to happen. He doesn't know. So anyway, that's, you guys have some extra money now in your budget because you're not going to cover that anymore. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Maybe we'll just give you money just because.
Just because I don't know, busy.
Just because you're younger than Marty Heiler.
And for that, we'll go with it. Okay.
I was going to say, we'd go broke. Think about how many people we'd have to pay if that were our criteria. I mean,
Oh, Carol, we did have that on our radar, so I know I will reach out to Adam and make sure that the finance committee knows to kind of make that change for our next budget.
Okay. And I don't know how long they're going to cover that, but that's for the near future. So that's pretty exciting. So that's something that the Ag Ed Commission is doing. And you guys, when you have an opportunity to talk to some of them, you want to thank them for that. So I've been busy. I've been Zooming with teachers or Zooming a lot of different ways, and with kids, helping with SAE records, with project ideas, with community service ideas. If any of your kids are stuck, they don't know what to do for a project, and they really want to apply or try to qualify for the Keystone degree, shoot me an email and I can kind of go through it with them and maybe give them and you some ideas and kind of help you out with that. I want to share, talking about Keystone degrees, I'm going to share my screen maybe really quick and show you a change in the Keystone degree application this year. People asked to have, people who have had American degrees in the past have asked to have electronic signatures added to the Keystone application, and I contacted Roger at AET and they did that for us. So to do that, the kids just need to, it's really easy, read the directions, and then they'll do these signatures through email for the parents and for the principal or the superintendent. Somebody sent me a note today and said that their kids' parents don't have email. They won't get email. What do we do? And I said, well, you know, talk to the parents. If they validate, verify, whatever you want to call it, that the kid actually had the project, they said, teacher, put your own email address in there and do it as the teacher. And so that's what they're going to do. The preference would be that it's actually the parents, but you know, we all have those one set of parents that can be a challenge for whatever reason. So that's an opportunity. And if anybody has any questions about that as the verifications go on, send them my way and I'll help you out with that logic. If you go down through the report, I've been involved in Farm Show quite a bit. That's not on the agenda, but I'm gonna just make some Farm Show notes for you guys and some changes that are gonna come up this year at the Farm Show. I offered to be the contact person for FFA for the Ag Ed divisions at the Farm Show. And I have some notes in the reports about that. So Department 26, the demonstrations, Val is chair of that. Those are actually going to be entered as a recorded video. So the kids will do the demonstration, record it as a video, submit it, and then those will be judged. Department 27, window exhibits, is going to be a virtual competition. Ron Frederick and John Bierbauer have put those rules together. And so there will be a Zoom, somehow a Zoom appointment or time where the kids will talk about their displays. Those displays will not actually come to the Farm Show. It'll just be virtual. Department 28, vocational horticulture, that's the greenhouse entries. That's going to be a drop and go competition. We've updated those rules, cut the classes back quite a bit. So if you have entered that before, or if you're interested, take a look at those rules and those classes. If you see a mistake, we're just getting these posted. So if there's an issue, something big we forgot, let me know. We added a few categories that are easier for people to do. So again, take a look at those. The key to Department 28 is you will not receive those items back unless I can pull some strings, and I'm kind of working on that. So we'll see how that goes. Department 29, landscapes are going to be judged through a recorded. My notes say video. I don't know if it's going to be a recorded video or if it's going to be a live, like an interview. So we'll have to see about that. Agri-Science Fair, those rules should be posted. Adam Searfoss has done a great job with revising the Agri-Science Fair information. Department 35 antique tractors, we're still kind of going back and forth. We're working on getting funding. Lancaster Farming has been great in the past at sponsoring that. It's looking like we're going to have something at Ag Progress Days this year about the antique tractors, and then they will maybe actually compete at the 2022 Farm Show. So stay tuned. We just had a meeting today. There were some questions about it. You'll see an email come out probably on the listserv and in the newsletter about that. And I know a few of you on here may have some tractors in the works, or you're thinking about doing a tractor. All I can say, if you're thinking about doing a tractor and you have found it, take lots of pictures of it and some video ahead. I think there's going to be some cool opportunities for some prize money coming through that. But like I say, stay tuned and we'll see. Is there anything, you guys, anybody have any questions, anything I can help you with at this point?
All right, thank you, Carol. We'll go on down to the committee reports. Membership or Member Services Committee. Casey or Darla, do you guys have anything on that one, or do we know anything on that one?
And you guys can see the report. I'll just highlight kind of the YouGo point system. And we do award, I think, gift cards for that at the summer conference. So like you get, I think it's 2 points for attending tonight. So make sure you sign Nick's attendance sheet if you want points for the meeting.
Okay, very good. The Marketing Committee, they submitted a report too. They just said something about the winter information was distributed from summer convention. They started a campaign to renew membership before the 31st. And it looks like they're trying to get some kind of an infographic for members to share with their administrators about local advisory committee members. Trying to get some support for teacher membership for the organization. Maybe if we can get some local community backing on that through their LACs, and more likely to maybe pay for membership, and we can, which kind of goes into the next one, which is strategic planning. Several of you, or all of you, probably got a survey that was done for strategic planning. Allison Balmer had put that together with the help of some of the committee there, and it had gone out. We actually got 52 responses back, which was pretty good considering all the different things that were going on, I thought. And I did put a few things in there if you were able to look at it. Just some interesting numbers that I thought I would share there. There was only 4 non-PAAE members that had filled out the survey, which I was kind of hoping maybe we'd get a few more, but 4 is better than none. So the results I just wanted to share, you know, there was the years of service and the ages of our teachers. So the ages of our teachers, about 25% are between 20 and 27 years old. And then we get up to like 31% is 28 to 37 years old. And then about another 22% were 38 to 47. And then we get up into the more experienced teachers where we have 48 to 57, which is 18.8. And then I think Marty might have filled it out. I don't know how old he is, but 2%. So
He's definitely over 58.
Yeah, I'm looking that in the rearview mirror.
And I think he's dyslexic.
And then we also, I put in here the years of service. We have a huge portion of our teachers, almost, I'd say, what is that? Almost 60% are less than 15 years of service. So that's a very young population, I guess I should say, or a large population of younger teachers. And then we have about 25% that are in 16 to 25 years. And then we have 18% that is actually taught 25 years or more. So just that was the survey results. And then out of the amount that we had, 75% of the responses that we got back were female responses and 25% were male. I thought that was interesting. I knew there was a lot more female ag teachers, but I didn't guess it was quite that many, which is good. The other things, just real quick, that I'll hit on is the benefits that people thought that they got. I guess the best bang for their buck was for professional development was the biggest one. Professional networking, being able to go out and see all these different people and organizations that we interact with, and then just the local state support for agriculture is another reason why people join our organization. So I think doing the little half-hour workshops that we did, like Melanie had put on tonight, I think that's a good thing to do. As long as people are able to get on and do it, it's an excellent thing to do. And then there's some things that I wanted to also hit on here, like there was one figure I had that was 63% of the people that responded to the survey have never served on the PAAE executive board or as part of a committee to represent the committee, I guess I should say. Many have served on a committee but haven't been on the actual executive board. So one of the things that I would like to try to do as we're going forward here is try to get some more people involved that are members to take more part or step into another part of a leadership role in the organization as they move forward in their careers. So there were some other things that were about summer conference we asked about too, but I'll wait and we'll talk to the strategic planning committee about that, about conferences and that time of the year and things like that. But I think this was a very good starting point, and thank you, Darla, for sharing that survey that we actually took it from NAAE and kind of modified it for Pennsylvania, and got some really good feedback that I think will help move our organization ahead. So thank you very much. And if anybody has any questions about that, I'd be glad to answer. Okay. Public policy. If you look down below, is there anything there? There's nothing reported. Is there anything, Casey, that you think you want to add in there?
No, not at this time.
Okay. And then how about policy and bylaw? Anything there?
I'll just say that they are meeting in November here. We're going to try to get those revisions kind of finalized. They'll present it to the board at our next meeting, which is in January. And then we're going to try to have some stuff for members to see and provide feedback on for like spring regional meeting time. So that's kind of the time frame we're working in with those revisions.
Okay. We'll go into the finance committee. I know that Adam, I don't believe he's not on here, but we did talk about as a executive board, some of the things that we were doing instead of, since we're having the NAAE conferences held virtually this year, we don't have to pay expense to send people to NAAE. So we've kind of come up with a policy or a procedure, I guess, that we decided to follow, that we want to try to send as many people as we can with that funding to the virtual conference as that we can. So we figured out it's about 25 people that we could pay for to go to the NAAE conference virtually. It's first opened up in, I guess, a couple different tiers. The executive board was asked first, anyone on the executive board that would like to go. And then I'm not real sure what the next ones are, but I think it was like some new and beginning teachers and things like that that we've opened it up to. And if you've gotten an email from Janae, I think you're in one of those cohort groups probably that has asked if you would like to attend. And it's very simple Google Doc registration that she's created if people are interested in that. So if you happen to get that email, I would encourage you to sign up for it to attend the virtual conference. Is there anything, Casey, that I forgot or you'd like to add?
No, and I had that on the new business, so that's something we can skip here later then. But Janae should be mailing out to everybody when that time period comes for when it's open to those certain groups. So the next set of groups, I think, is the new and beginning teachers from each region. So regional VP should be reaching out to some of those people. Janae will reach out to the regional coordinators in order to kind of get that started, and then we'll see. We'll open it up to kind of anybody if we have extra spots left. That last week, we do have to register to get that, technically the rate that we want based on how we figured 25 members to attend. We want to register by October 23rd so that we get that price range. So.
Okay, anybody have any questions about that at all, or anybody else maybe was included? I don't know how many people on here might have been included in that already. Okay. I believe next is professional growth, and they've shared a few things on the report here. They want to try to encourage people again to participate in the virtual NAAE convention. If you get that information from Janae or asked to participate, then we'll be asked to share some feedback on that. And then maybe they'll have a shared Google Drive with some similar things like we did with the summer conference, where people will be able to go and find resources there. And then there's also a 2021 PAAE award nomination form that should be coming out here fairly soon. And then we just want to, it says continue and maintain partnership for Penn State and summer conference committees to get ready for the advertised professional development opportunities for this coming up summer, which I know Melanie is on here. I hope that we can, hopefully we can meet back up in Wellsboro this summer. So we're looking forward to that. That's actually next on the list for standing special committees. So summer conference, Melanie, you got anything you want to share about that?
All I can say is that things are pretty open in our town. There's a lot of tourism that is still taking place. So we're ready to roll here in terms of hotels and things like that. And it really confirmed the hotel right away for the next year. And so the room block is already in place for 2021. And we're very prepared thanks to John Seaman and all the work we already did. So looking forward to continuing to make that happen for this coming year.
Very good. Thank you, Melanie. Any questions about conference at all from anyone? Okay. Doug, the scholarship. Is Doug still on? I can't
Well,
tell.
he's been admitted to the room 2 or 3 different times, so he might be having connection issues. Oh, no, it's saying he's there.
Okay.
Mute.
Maybe I'll just add in for him if he's having issues or maybe he stepped away from the computer. We did have, do I have an echo? Or is that Doug? I don't know.
Thank you.
If you look on the Facebook page, we did announce our scholarship winners. And I forget honestly who they were, so I'm not a great resource here, but it's on Facebook. And that was all taken care of. So we'll be kind of on hold with that until next year. I did notice there's one thing in the treasurer's report though, with the scholarship accounts, the checking account gets charged like a $10 monthly fee because we don't use it. So we're probably gonna get rid of the checking account and just use our scholarship savings. And then when we need to pay the scholarships, just put it in our regular fund and not have that separate one because it's just wasting money with those monthly fees. So that's one change there.
Yes, that's one thing I wanted to mention and forgot. Thank you, Casey. The last 2 months we've received 2 or 3 months, $10 charge because we're not writing enough checks. So I'm going to go in as soon as I'm able to get an appointment and talk to them at M&T Bank, get those funds reimbursed because when I opened everything and signed on here a year ago, all accounts were supposed to be fee-free. So I have to go in and talk to them about that. And then I'm just going to move checking monies over to savings, leave it in the savings. And then when we announce our scholarship winners, I'll just pull the money out of savings, deposit it into our general checking, and write the checks out of general checking. So that's the minor change, no big deal.
Okay, very good. We'll go on to Sunshine Committee, and that's Sarah Beth.
Yeah, so if you guys have anything exciting going on, or if there's anything that PAAE can do to support someone who's in need, just let me know. You can email me, or there's a link on the website. But yeah, we're available in any sort of circumstance. We can send cards or anything you need, so just let us know.
Okay, thank you. And I just wanted to say to everybody, we're really glad that we saw Tom on here tonight. I think he's still on here. So yeah, Tom, we're glad you're all healthy and getting healthier and still able to help out in different capacities around town here. So I did see Doug just for a second. Doug, is there anything that you would like to share about scholarship at all?
No, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of issues here. I'm at the school. Go figure. No, just Brian handled it there. We're going to continue forward after the Christmas holiday. We're going to push that out to the university for the next go around. We are going to try to eliminate that check. I did talk to Landis here the other day. She is going to cash that check, so no problem there. Got that taken care of. No, that's basically it. We're going to keep moving forward. Do what we got to do for the scholarships. Great program. So.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll be going to old business, and Casey, you kind of hit on.
Sorry about the connection.
Oh, that's okay, Doug. Casey, we talked about the website update some already. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or you're good with that?
I mean, I'm good. Does anyone have any questions though related to website, or did we cover what everyone needs to know? All right, then I'm good.
Okay, very good. We kind of talked about the NAA virtual convention registration already, so I'll skip over that one unless anybody has questions. But then we have also the G Suite nonprofit account. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, and this is where with the new website and the FFA Foundation, I'm working with Sarah Sparks. I know Mr. Brammer and the FFA Association got an email set up through them, and we had tried to do this last year. But with the, what we had tried to do was just kind of like a regular Gmail account, and that didn't really work with having like all the board members be able to try to access it. It was, with the Google security features, it wasn't really working. So then with the new website, Sarah, we reached out to her and we're looking into that option as well. And then it came about trying to do the G Suite like business account, but for nonprofits. And we thought that was going to work, but since we are not a C3, but a C6 501 organization, we actually don't qualify. And that has to do with our lobbying, like permissions and stuff. So if we would not do like the lobbying, we could maybe qualify. But since we're classified that way, that's how it works. So Sarah's put in a ton of legwork for this for us, and she's probably going to continue to do this, which is awesome because saving us a lot of time. But we're probably going to just go with, we talked with some of the exec team members here, to do a Google like business starter account, which would allow us to have kind of unlimited email addresses. So like all of our board members could have like a @PAAE.org email account that they could use for corresponding in that sense. And we would have access to all of like the G Suite things. So Google Docs slides, all the sharing features. We could use Google Meet as well. And you kind of have access to all those benefits, even like photos. So like we're doing presentations or just keeping records, and some of that stuff might be valuable to, I feel, the organization. And it's only $6 a month. So it's a really minuscule amount that I think would really help us in the future to store information in kind of that cloud atmosphere, and be able to transition from one officer to the next and have all those like documents there. So we're going to kind of proceed with that option here in the near future. So I'm hoping by the end of the year, we'll kind of have that all set up and running. And then if anyone is like, even like for summer conference, we can have a folder for summer conference stuff. And then that's something that can be shared from year to year. All that's on the, you know, G Suite account for PAAE. So I think that is something that's going to be valuable to kind of have all those resources in one location. That's, you know, virtual and easy for everyone to access in the future. So that's what we're getting at with that. I just wanted to make sure everyone knows that that's something that we're pursuing. And again, it's a real minuscule cost. $6 a month is really nothing for our organization. So any questions about that or concerns?
We just offset it from the scholarship thing where we're not paying $10 a month anymore. $6 a month. So
there we go.
Saving $4. Okay, the last thing on here is the VP election. We have heard from a couple different people that they're interested in running for that position. So what Casey and I and Darla have kind of talked about is we'll see about setting up the election runner, sort of like we did for the president-elect position. See if we can get a few more people. I know that, like I say, some people have expressed some interest in participating as a VP. And if anybody knows anyone that maybe not on the Zoom meeting tonight, or you would like to nominate somebody, we usually have nominations. But if somebody wants to nominate someone, I'm sure that's okay. But if you know of anyone that would like to maybe hold that position or would like to run for it, just let us know. I guess I'm going to ask for, and if that's okay with Casey, I would say if anybody on here knows anyone that would like to run, if you would let us know by like next Tuesday or Wednesday, that would be good. And then we could put the election runner together. Because currently Casey and I both have had people contact us about possibly running. So, so far we have Dave Ruverick and Jared Armstrong have both expressed some interest. So if anyone else has or knows anyone, just let us know. Okay. If nobody has anything for that, a couple of announcements. We just need to select a date and a location. Hopefully it can be in person, but if we have to do this again, it works all right. I mean, it's been just as long. I'm hopefully not making it too long tonight. And the only thing we don't get is dinner while we're here. So until we figure out how to virtually give dinner to people, we're kind of stuck, I guess.
I vote for in person.
I do too. If we can do it, that's the way I would like to do it. Let's see. We usually have them when? I don't have a calendar right here in front of me.
April-ish.
April-ish. So, well, I guess if nobody really has a big preference, we can just look at it and choose a date.
I think last year Northern was the beginning of either the end of April or the beginning of May.
Okay. So we can look at the end of April. If we keep them on Thursday, it would be like the 22nd or 29th of April. So if we kind of go along with this one, I guess, or what last year, if we go towards the end of April, we can try for the 22nd, if that's okay with everybody. Okay, we'll try for that one, April 22nd. And if we can have it in person, we will do that. And we'll go from there. I see Mr. Bramer's got some virtual meals here, food.com. Have you tried one of those, Mr. Bramer?
I have not.
Okay.
It's just a website.
I was just wondering how filling it was. And then I see Mr. Heiler has nominated Sarah Beth Aldifer as well. And Dr. Ewing says we don't need a second. She just needs to accept. So Sarah Beth, do you want to accept a nomination?
In the screen there, but I think I'll stick with marketing committee and sunshine committee. Since I work with the upcoming president, I know that I'll be involved, and that way we can have more schools kind of as part of the leadership team. I really appreciate it, and in the future would absolutely accept the nomination. But for now, I will politely decline, but we'll still be involved, I promise.
You're going to be voluntold. That's the way it goes around here.
How about you, Marty? Go out with a bang.
Okay.
No, I've had it, I think 4 or 5 times already. That's enough.
Yeah, but that was back in the 50s.
And I was just going to say, if you average it out, he's only done it like a half time, you know? I mean,
Exactly.
really.
Watch it, boys.
I wanted to maybe chime in here that we do currently, I believe, have 2 nominations or people, and we can share that now today. And I also, someone asked, like, why don't we vote now? I think it's just a little bit harder in Zoom to do that. So we were going to just do the election runner. That way it's easy to tally and whatnot. So we do have David Riverick right now and Jared Armstrong as 2 representatives for the Northern region. So again, if anyone wants to add their name into the pot there, we'll give you till Monday or Tuesday, and then we'll probably push that out on the election runner. And since we're just switching out to like Northern region, I know, Brian, it costs us a little bit of money to do the president-elect because our membership was over 100, but anything less than 100 is free. So just the Northern region is a free, and it worked really well. It's 1 click. So that's what we were going to. Okay. We thought might be the easiest option.
And maybe do we want to give each one of them maybe an opportunity to speak tonight, or do you want to do something?
That's up to them, I guess. So are they both still on here? David is, I'm pretty sure is, and Jared is. So if either of you want to speak as to your desire to be on the board and whatnot, that's up to you guys. Turn the
Yeah,
floor.
Just a question, would it be, and I don't care either way, but if you think there's other people who are going to be interested, would it be inappropriate to ask two people that are on here to speak versus other ones who may not have been able to make it? I'm just asking. I don't know if it matters. It might not matter.
I mean, I'm okay with waiting. We can do kind of like we did with the president-elect spot, like they could each submit something. That would be fine.
Yeah, and I don't know how many of you really maybe took notice to this. Like I did put the shared folder out for that, which maybe that was useful, or I can put like a brief like description in Election Runner along with like their pictures. So if the candidates or anyone who wants to run for the Northern VP sends me that stuff, I can put that in the Election Runner and then everyone can see that when they vote. So that
was actually really nice that you did that.
Okay, well, it sounds like what we'll try to do then. So David and Jared, that's what we may be asking you guys to do. Just look for something from Casey or myself to get that ready for you guys. And then if anybody has any other people, just let them know that that's kind of what we're doing. And we'll go from there. So I don't really have anything else. Casey, do you have anything you'd like to share at all? Okay. Just wanted to let everybody know that there's some good things still going on out there. It's kind of rough. We're all feeling the pinch here, changing things, going through a whole different time of education. You have to get out and take care of yourselves. Don't think about school all the time. Make sure you're getting out. There's a lot of good things still going on in our communities in different areas and things like that. I know that this weekend and next weekend, just to throw it out there, there's the Fall in Love with Maple tour. So there's lots of different places that are open around the Bradford, Tioga, Potter County areas that will be doing different things on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And some of them are open all week for things, and some are open just on the weekend. So I guess I'm kind of putting a little shout out there for Frolic Meadow Maple, because you're not getting any free maple products this week for coming to the meeting, because I usually bring some. Well, I couldn't virtually give food today to the website for Mr. Bramer's website there. But you may come out and check and see what's going on. But we'll be offering some things too. If you guys want to check out our website or our Facebook page, it's just Frolic Meadow Farm or frolicmeadowfarm.com. So you guys can check that out. So thank you, everybody.
The leaves are still pretty in Tioga County.
They are around in many different places. So, okay. If there's nothing else, thank you everybody for coming to the meeting tonight, and we'll see everybody later.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Good night.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Dave.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
I was gonna say, I'll hang on just another minute here. There's a few people, and then I'll close it all down, Dave.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, John. I see
Yep.
Mr. Heiler. He's still on there. He's figuring out how to try to
Yeah,
shut his computer off.
it's the little
That's
button that
good.
says leave. Marty, it says leave.
I don't want to leave. That's what
We
I'm
can sit-
saying.
Yeah, we can sit here and chat, but I just won't let you know. Eventually, I can just end the meeting and everyone goes away. So,
And I'd still be sitting here looking at the screen.
hey, there's still some sunshine out there. You should go out and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Well, I've still got chores to do.
Oh, well, yeah, that can be enjoyable depending what they are.
It is. Gets my mind on other things, Dave.
That's right. That's right.
See you guys.
Yeah, we'll see. Have a good one.
Yep. Thank you,
Hey,
John.
Kayla. Oh, yeah, we'll see. Hey, Kayla, I see you're logged. Oh, you left. Oh, she left just as I started talking to her.
She was driving out. I think her brother is getting married.
Oh, you did mention that. I was going to let her know. She was on and then she wasn't. And then she came back there at the end. I was just going to ask her if she had any questions, but
Yeah, I'm not sure if she was driving or if she was flying or how she's getting there, but they were going out to her brother's wedding anyway, so.
yeah, gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll see you. Have a
Yep.
good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yep, bye.